Hey, this is Jeffery Reddick, and you're listening to G.U.T.S podcast.
Hey! Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, Jeffery.
We love horror movies, man. Horror movies are our life. You know, there's some horror goons.
I'm Zano the Vinci.
Your boy ATX the Space Viking. Trying to figure shit out. This changed my life forever.
Yes. Good.
Hey, welcome to G.U.T.S podcast.
What's up?
It's Zano the Vinci.
It's your boy Space Viking.
Low key ass mood.
Man, we got a dope ass show for you mofos tonight. Dope ass interview.
Sick interview. We want to shout out, first of all, some shout outs to be made.
Yeah, a lot of shout
I
outs.
definitely want to shout out the legendary DJ Michael Watts
Yes.
for reposting our video.
Appreciate your Swisher House salute.
Appreciate that, fam. Thank you. I know it got taken down. I knew that was probably the box or somebody telling you
Yeah,
to.
but it's cool. We know
Take
it's
it
a
down.
business page too, as well as a page. So
but
we
much
understand.
love for that. We appreciate that, dog.
Yes, sir.
That was huge for us. We grew up listening to you, so that was dope. Also, want to shout out the homie Hannah's 1,000 Films
Hell yeah. Well,
on
salute.
Instagram. She reposted us. Thank you for the love, boo.
Salute, Hannah. And man, give a shout out to our people, PVD Horror, man.
Shout out again to PVD Horror.
Man,
They been showing love like a mother.
They show love,
PVD
dude.
Horror is.
Those crazy motherfuckers out
And
of
we
Rhode
got
Island.
a lot of people. Good Guy Prime, Tony Biz, Jay Valen,
Yeah.
The Shape Factor.
We got some people in Rhode
We got
Island.
some people, man. I know, man. That East Coast is popping on horror, man. I can't wait to go out there
That's
and do
where
some
my
real
man's
shit.
at too, huh? That's where Stephen King lives, right?
Oh,
East
yeah.
Coast.
No, he lives in Maine. My bad.
Well, that's East Coast, sort of. He's
Rhode
on
Island, Maine,
East Coast. We can
Delaware,
catch a train to it.
Same shit.
Yeah, so.
But we got your boy. We interviewed your boy big time, man.
Yeah, so this is huge, man. Today, on this episode, we interviewed the writer and creator
Wow.
of Final Destination.
You know what it is.
The movie that the reason why you don't follow logs on 18-wheelers on the
reason
freeway
why
today.
you watch water,
to this day.
water leaking from under your bathtubs.
To this day.
Shit,
One of
man.
my all-time favorite movies. I own all of them on DVD.
Damn, do you even play DVDs anymore?
I don't even know what I'm going to do with it.
Damn, that's true.
It's
Well,
in
they're
the
gonna
box
they're
in the
gonna pretty
closet.
start soon having DVD slide ports on side of TVs. They're gonna have to. Man. I don't know what the fuck.
Hook
they
it
do.
up because I love all those fucking movies. I like all of them, dude.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
dope.
them all. That's guts right there.
You got to get the people.
Final Destination kills.
His name.
You know, it's simple. Shit gets fucked up. They kill. That's a guts movie right
His
there.
name.
Jeffrey Reddick, bro.
Yeah, man.
The Jeffrey
The
Reddick.
Jeffrey fucking Reddick.
Cool motherfucker,
Yeah.
man.
And
Great guy.
Cool
the
dude.
Final Wish is out now, so
Oh
go
yeah,
check that out.
We went and saw his movie that's coming out. Y'all go check it out. It's on demand.
Sick.
The Final Wish. It's about an evil djinn that might grant you your wishes for a price.
Everybody like wishes, but I'm telling you right now, if a leprechaun comes up to you and asks to rub your booty for a wish, that's not a fucking leprechaun.
I'm taking that L.
Man.
Oh, I mean no. I mean I don't
Taking
want
it.
that.
Bushwick Bill.
Yeah, it was some fucking a midget. Shit. Fucking rubbing on your ass and you're in trouble now.
Dude,
Well, no, oh boy, he did a great interview.
Yeah,
he
man,
was
it was
super
sick.
cool.
Cool as
super,
shit.
He wasn't scared to let us know all his secrets.
Yeah,
and
man,
all
he
that
got
shit.
in there, man.
Because there ain't nothing worse than a motherfucker that's accomplished and
Yeah.
knows some shit, but don't want to come off of it.
Hey, but you
know?
noticing a lot of these directors we interviewed are from the South. I'm peeping
Yeah,
at
that's
that,
true.
man.
I want to talk about
Like
how
deep rural
we're
South,
making
man.
some waves with our
Yeah.
little podcast.
Yeah.
We're making some waves, dog.
We're making
Well,
some
we're
moves,
supposed to be
man.
doing.
Yeah, but we want to thank to everyone. Anyways, thanks to everyone showing us love. We're making some waves, man.
Yeah,
we did,
man.
like that's the Final Destination director. That's
Man,
huge.
That's dope, man. That's a big shit, man.
We're making moves. Shout
And
out to Joe Bob Briggs
Yeah,
who
man.
put us on that. Yo, y'all come out to the Texas Frightmare Convention in May in
Yeah,
Dallas
May 3rd through the 5th.
and fuck with us, man.
They gotta
and-
take that Hooters girl to the house.
Ooh.
Oh, the one that unfollowed us.
Hey.
Oh, she unfollowed y'all. She ain't
Yeah.
unfollowed me.
Well,
Well,
her ab mattress need to be in.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
not
put
bitter.
We're gonna put an air mattress in the hallway.
She told her she's on my 4th step. I mean, wait, never mind.
Hey, and man, today we did a bomb ass photo shoot with X to Rex.
Oh yeah, shout out to my homie Mike Wilson, man. We did a gangster ass photo shoot today.
His Instagram is X to Rex.
Yeah, AXETRIX.
Yeah, on Instagram.
On Instagram, y'all go follow the homie, man. Great photographer.
Man, he did a.
We went to Super Happy Funland and set it off. It's really cool little.
That's a place off of Polk Street in Houston, man.
2nd Ward.
And if you're in Houston, well, they call it Edo now for some reason. But if you're in the 2nd Ward, Edo, go check out Super Happy Funland.
People call it Edo. Hey, have you guys been to Edo?
That's the first stage I ever played in Houston.
No shit.
First
Super Happy Funland.
Man, that looked like a dope place to shoot.
Oh, it was
anything, man.
It was great. I mean, the people came from. Man, they had people coming from Colorado because the dude I opened up for was this dude named Jinx. He's like an underground hip hop guy. And people came from everywhere in that bitch, and everybody that walked in was like, "What the fuck is this place?"
Yeah, that place will take you like because we know when I Googled a little stuff, but y'all knew about it. But yeah, if you just invite somebody there and they walk in, they gonna be like, "Oh, this is happening," and I can see a lot of stuff happening in there. There's a dope ass arts and dope ass Ragged Ann dolls everywhere, man. The restrooms are wild. Like a
y'all check out our IG and you'll see the crazy pics we'll post. But you know what else was crazy?
What you got?
Friday night.
We went
and saw
crazy.
The Prodigy.
Motherfuckers.
The Prodigy
was fucking dope.
I can't wait to hear about this shit, man.
The Prodigy was live, dude. And so, we're not fucking like movie critics or movie reviewers.
At all.
So this is just two knuckleheads interpretation of it.
We not Rotten Tomatoes. We not.
This ain't Rotten Tomatoes.
Rest in peace to Siskel
These
and Ebert.
3 goons on a couch.
Yeah.
Trying not to be breaking into stuff.
Yeah,
so
we're
trying to do something positive.
We watch movies and give you our point of view of the movies.
That's what we do here at Gus.
And that shit, Prodigy. On the ratings on
we're
one
trying
thing.
to make it out them streets.
One thing I saw a 6.1 out of 10, which is not bad. Now, what's crazy after Friday? The ratings start going up more. I noticed that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I want to know what the fuck, who these critics are, man.
Man, I think
they gotta be stuck up.
No, what it is, man, they go
If you don't like that movie, you're fucking stuck up.
Man, what it is, I think what they doing, they watching a horror movie and kind of like trying to put it to different, like, this horror movie should be. This how it should go.
Dude, it was dope,
That shit was
and a lot of those
it was creepy.
Aren't horror heads.
Yeah, they just movie critics. So if it doesn't have a certain lighting on the knife when he does this, oh, I hate it. Like, nah.
A lot of times that shit goes where there's not enough diversity. There wasn't a woman lead. There wasn't.
It takes you by.
It's all these small little things that it's not decided on how good the movie is.
Man,
it's decided on all the boxes that the movie didn't check.
It takes you to on a roller coaster fucking ride, man.
Let me tell you something, critics. When we get out to Hollywood, we're pulling up.
We got some criticals.
Putting my dick in the mashed potatoes.
Hey,
dick in the mashed potatoes.
He's done it before, so don't trust him.
He did it last night. Her name was Sally.
That's why they call me old lukewarm dick.
That's why they call his ass old lukewarm dick.
You better not eat the gravy,
That's
motherfucker.
why they have it called.
You know that
That's why they call him lukewarm dick. All right, so the Prodigy.
Okay.
Yeah, break this shit down to me. I need to know.
No. First, bro, let us tell you what to say about the Prodigy. What caught us first action scene off the rip movie? Action. Lady come out abandoned door trying to get her hands out the door. We in it.
Yeah.
We like, oh, y'all got us.
It got us the off the rip factor.
Yeah, and off the phone.
Me and him love because it keeps us off our phone factor.
Man, it kept us off our phone.
So right off the rip, jumping, bam. But also, I gotta say, to set it up, we went to this movie thinking like it's a possession movie, or like it's like some kind of Omen shit.
Yeah,
like the Omen. It's not.
No,
it's dope. It's
no demonic into the bodies. It's a reincarnation.
It's a reincarnation.
Oh, really?
And
spoiler.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Email us a cons.
It's by the time you watch this, you should have been watched it.
He's not a psychopath?
He is.
No, but look, what's crazy?
All
right, the girl comes out the house. Boom. She's running down. She's running through the forest like Dion with an interception. Fast in the motherfucker. Like running. Lady comes down the road, swerves and miss her ass. She gets out to help her. Her fucking hand is cut off. Boom, she crying. The lady tells the officers where the guy's house is at. He's all detected under there. They pull up, narcs, feds, whatever, pull up. He sees them. Comes outside, don't give a fuck. He walks outside, butt ass naked. They shoot his ass.
Suicide by cop.
He act like he had something in his hand. As soon as they shoot him,
suicide by
yeah, but it's like he had a hand in his hand. It was fucking so crazy because he cut off the hands.
Yeah.
But when they shot him, the baby was born at the exact same time, and where the bullet hole was at, it was blood on the baby's body. It was like exactly where he got shot at. So they wiped their blood off, and it was instantly he been possessing this kid named Miles or whatever his name was, Miles.
Wow.
And it was a trip. And then he ended up being a prodigy baby, like so smart, so intellectual, real good with numbers, shades.
He liked, like, he did weird shit, like he liked paprika.
Yeah. But that's
like,
later on, though. That's later on. That was like after, because when he was young, he started pressing. Remember he did the little genius thing? They're like, oh, he's so smart. He's a genius, baby. You should take him to the school of gifted. And it cranked up when he fucked around and the little dude, he wanted to be members with her, remember the girl partner?
Oh, yeah.
And he went.
In group class, he grows up to this kid and he's like, hey, I want to be fucking partners with Kayla or whoever the fuck. And she was like, no, we're already working. So this little boy goes to the janitor's closet, gets a wrench.
Gets a monkey wrench.
Bam! Bam! Starts piecing him up in in the class.
But it was so fucking crazy because he was asleep one night, remember? And his mom thought he was having a bad dream.
Oh, yeah.
And she recorded
him because he's like,
he's speaking Hungarian.
She takes it in.
Like,
she thought it was some gibberish. It was Hungarian.
Yeah.
She's like, how the fuck does he know Hungarian? And he goes, no, this is not what disturbed me.
It's what he said.
It's not that he knew Hungarian perfectly. It's you asked him if you told him he was having. She goes, you're having a bad dream. He goes, it's not a bad dream. It's a good dream.
Yeah, it's a good dream.
But what he was saying in Hungarian was like, bitch, I'm going to kill your eyes. Fuck your eyes, slut, and all this crazy shit. It's like, so he has been reincarnated, they find out, he's the serial killer.
Yeah.
He's
fucking
awesome.
And what was cold part was his eyes. His eyes had the same eyes of the serial killer. One blue, one brown.
Oh, no
and
shit.
They were like
got
David
that blue healer in his ass.
Man.
Yeah. They were like David Bowie eyes. They even said they shouted out David.
He's talking about, this my little boy. And like, shout out David Bowie.
So so the thing about it is, he's this little serial killer. We're going to spoil the fuck out of this movie. By the way. So,
but that's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
We're spoilers.
Yeah, we're
like
spoilers.
We like to spoil
shit. So anyways, so the trick.
Spoil movies, I spoil mashed potatoes.
Hey!
Dick in the mashed potato. So,
hey.
So,
what
the fucking thing is so the mom finds out from this specialist guy about reincarnations.
Oh shit.
That reincarnations happen because the guy was talking about some Indian kid that he saw that went to the same thing.
He had he was the life of a pilot, an ex-pilot or some shit. Weird shit.
And so the thing is they reincarnate because there's something left that they still had to do.
Yeah, they had to finish something.
They have to finish something. Yeah. And most people, it's like, I never got to say bye to my brother. It's something sweet like that. Well, this cat...
Oh, he's sprucing up, folks.
He always takes the hand of his victims.
Yeah.
Well, this one survived. He
couldn't get that.
So that's why he came back.
He got her hand. He just wanted to kill her because she the one that told on him to get the cops.
And wasn't it creepy? Like as a little kid, he'd always play, "Mommy, let's play staring game."
Yeah, but he would rub her hands like a sexual beast.
And he'd play the He'd play the. I was doing the hand rubbing, but he'd be like,
yeah, he'll look at her
as a little kid, and you're like, and he was always drawing hands and shit. That was his trademark as the clusterfuck killer or whatever.
Yeah. He was in love with, infatuated by. He had a hand fetish, folks.
Yeah, he was a freak.
Okay, you know what it is.
Miles liked to party.
See, y'all don't understand like that. It's disturbing on another level because y'all don't have kids, man.
No,
to have your
kids are the creepiest, scary movies to me, man.
But that's the thing. It's like
no kids, no wife, player.
Imagine if you know the crazy like type of duality that has to go in your head that this is my kid.
Yeah.
I love this
that
thing
you gotta,
so much.
And that was the perfect thing of her as a mom.
Okay.
She was so protective of like, y'all not finna do my kid like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beat a motherfucker with a wrench and still like, no, I love my baby. I don't know what y'all
so
saying.
that was the thing, right? That's how it kind of you sympathize for the mom because the mom will do anything for her kids. Shout out to Kathleen McGill Drackett.
Hey.
Shout out to Kathleen McKenna McGill, my mama, Irish queen.
Hey.
But anyways, she, my poor mom did everything. You know how we do with my moms.
Yeah.
My mother is a saint. How many times she bailed me out of jail and shit. Anyways,
Bailed him out of jail.
So the mom finds out from this specialist. She realizes that he just needs to finish what he came to Earth to do, and then he'll leave.
Normal.
So she takes him over to the girl's house
Oh,
that
that's
survived.
fucked.
And she's gonna kill her, but she can't do it because she's a good person. But she's just trying to do it for her kid. She wants her because she realizes, and they tell her her son's soul is at risk.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't want to do it, but she goes gets a strap. I think it was a 38.
Yeah, you gotta bring it back to when this little fucker was in that bitch sharpening the pruners and the hedges.
Oh yeah, a bunch of weird shit happens along the way.
The
And
motherfucker,
he murks the dog
man,
with some hedges
and buries it in the fucking tool shed.
He does all kinds of weird shit like that, like classic serial killer shit.
Mm-hmm.
They send him to this special school because they think he's such a genius, and that's why he's got problems. But anyways, so the mom takes him to murk the fucking
The chick.
Yeah. So
she talking about she wanted him to finish what happened because she realized that's what he got to do.
And then, should we save the ending?
She looked. Yeah, we could say the ending. She looked up and brought him out there, and that's what we.
And so we'll leave it at that. Y'all need to go see the movie.
Hey, go check the movie out. I love movies that when I'm watching it, I get those shit. Man, I almost pulled a Ken in there twice. I almost did my sideways look like, oh shit, because you don't know what the fuck. And it wasn't like a bunch of gruesome like gore like normally how we like. It's that creepy feeling of, like you said, if you got a kid.
Yeah,
and it's something about kids, man. It's be like, they so innocent. They can't do that. And motherfucker was taking it there.
Bro, I never forget one time, and I told her, I turned the hall one time, Layla was like 2 years old, bro.
Uh-oh.
And she made this face to where she opened her mouth and her eyes real wide like this. And it was the creepiest fucking thing. And I said, Layla, don't you ever make that fucking face at me again. Never.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep shit.
Yeah.
But it got to where he was doing, he had his voices that he made, and he could change his voices and shit. Like he'd talk like the guy sometimes. Because it was one weird thing I gotta talk about this. Have you talked about the psychiatrist that he went to go see?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he went in the psychiatrist's offices because they wanted to be like, hey, something what we heard, we're known for doing this. We could talk to kids with these problems. Put the little dude in the office. He started hypnotizing him with the little. He like, just follow this. Let's go back in time, beyond this life when you started school, blah blah blah, before you enter this body. And he was like, oh shit. So he stopped it. So he started talking about, so what's your name? The dude comes out talking like, what's your name? He starts saying his name. Say, what about those drugs you got into the cabin that you put into a kid? And he was like, what the fuck you been in my, like, kind of like, what the fuck you talking about? How would they know? How would they feel if I wake up and I said you had your cock in my mouth? I was like, oh shit. And I got your, he said, I got your pubic hair that you left in the restroom in my mouth. Bro, he broke him down. He say, so you go out there and tell him nothing happened and everything's all right.
So the kid,
like, what
the kid is not the kid. He's the serial killer.
Yes.
And he goes, listen to this. You're going to go outside and you're going to tell my mother that nothing happens and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because I know you got all those prescription drugs in there.
And it's in my system.
Well, now they're in my system. And when they find your pubic hairs in my teeth,
and
who are they going to believe, you or me, a sweet little boy? When I said I had your cock in my mouth.
Oh, it's a weird.
And it was like weird for a little boy to say that.
Yeah,
and
man.
it was like,
but it was kind of like, damn, dog.
Fucking.
And he said, who they gonna believe?
Bro.
An innocent kid or an ex-hippie living off his dad's money? Like, damn.
No,
yeah.
Killed the scene to where I was like, oh yeah, I'm officially creeped the fuck out.
You know what else I liked? because he's a little prodigy, whatever. But it's not that he's a prodigy. He's just a grown-ass man.
Grown-ass man. He's smart.
You know, he already learned all the shit. So he set up a fucking audio and video camera and hid it all around the house. He was recording everything his parents were saying.
Yeah, he could hear that shit.
Hear them, he would come back and use it against them and shit. And he set everybody up on everything.
Yeah.
So when the mom finally brought him out there, he said, "I knew you would bring me out here."
Yeah, he knew. But like the dad, he told her dad he riding around looking for the dog. He was like, yeah, everybody, the dog when he usually knows his died hides in the house and dies alone. Say everybody died. Even you gotta die someday. And he fucking turned around and like, don't you ever talk to me like that. He was like, so what you gonna do? Beat me like your dad used to beat me? He was like, man, how the fuck does he know this shit? So this little motherfucker set up a baby monitor to listen to what they were saying. And one of the creepiest fucking scenes, the moms go in the room to like talk to him. He turns and sideways, you see the dude face on his body.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
This shit started like, I'm like, oh yeah, the hell's arising now.
Yeah.
It's
the
like
Prodigy is the truth.
The Prodigy is the truth.
Prodigy was gangster,
man.
bro.
And like you said, and I'm starting to notice that too. Before a movie come out, they show little bullshit ratings. Hey, this is whack, this is whack. After them weekends hit, them ratings start going up, man. Because them sales go up and people get to talking about it more and people get to like, hey, this wasn't a bullshit movie. Because, you know, we be looking to see if people getting up, if they can't handle it. Kind of like how Jack House built. You know what I'm saying? People was leaving that shit on the cool, but they were on this shit. Damn, this crazy, man. For our Patreons coming soon, man, we actually watching Friday the 13th. Dope ass shit. Yeah. But the movie's sick. Me and ATX enjoyed it. What you give it on your rating systems?
Dude, I gave it a lost a limb.
Lost a limb. That's dope for us, man.
Yeah.
That's
I
real.
give it a lost a limb. It's so close to a full decapitation.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I watch it again, it might be. I might like it better. I did find myself wanting to go back and rewatch it, so that's how I know it was good for me.
It's gonna give you those because what you do, and I know I do it too when I'm watching a movie. The first time I watched, I think it's why people watch movies like 3 or 4 times. First time I watch it, I focus on like the characters. Yeah. Second time I focus on stuff going on around them. Second time I just start looking at different little stuff that the director probably is like, hey, fuck it, let's roll. Nobody's gonna notice it. But the movie was sick. Definitely a rewatch worthy.
It was totally sick.
It's one of those movies, man. I'm so excited for where I like horror movies like that.
Hell yeah.
I love that shit, man. I love gore, bloody guts, all that. That's what we're about too. But when it's like suspense, like kind of like
when creepy, a movie really gives you the creeps.
Yeah, man.
That's the best. And you know why?
Because it's freaky to where you like, man, this little kid is.
But you know why that's the best? Because then you can do the double up factor.
Yeah.
So the shotgun factor, what we like to call it guts. That's when you actually see a creepy ass movie. And I can tell when it's creepy when I hear someone behind me and I get kind of creeped out.
You get to moving around and shit.
Like, but you go to see a creepy ass movie, which I love to do. But that also it hypens your creepiness up. So now if you double it up again and watch a different horror movie, even if it's not as good, that creepiness shotgun factor comes in and it makes it more scary. Yeah. And then if you watch 3 horror scary movies in a row, dude, you're bugging, and it is the funnest ride that you can get. It, you know,
it gets you going, man.
Man, it gets you pumped up, dude.
You like, dog, what the fuck did
Team,
I just watch?
no sleep,
no shit.
You are wired up. Man, that's like my favorite thing to do on a day off. Once I see that, but it's like I have to do it. Once I see that creepy ass movie, I instantly go home and pop in another one because I want that double up factor.
Keep that just adrenaline running off of like. So, Dope shit.
Yeah, man. I did that the other day. Shout out to our homies Zach and Joseph from the gym. Yeah. They were like, "Yo, man," they reminded me of, you know, there's so many horror movies. Yeah. But they reminded me of an old great one that I really liked and I had forgotten about. It was the M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit.
The Visit.
And so I watched that and it bugged me out. So then I was just like, "Oh, I need to watch another one." And I watched one that's not as good, but I was already still bugged out, and so it was really good to me. It was called Stay Alive. Yeah. And it was pretty shitty, but it was about these kids. You know, I was already creeped out, so that hype and creep factor, you know, made
Just
it good.
kept going,
yeah. And it's about these kids
it.
who play this video game, and this lady was creepy in the game. And if you die in the game, that's how you die in real life.
That's wild shit.
So that's what I did, and then I watched the one I watched after that was what was it? Killer Ed.
Oh,
I think it was.
That's the one from last night. Was that's fucking with the doctor?
Yeah, hold on. Evil Ed, not Killer Ed.
Evil Ed.
Yeah, and that was just, it was like boom, 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 back to back to back, and I was like, oh shit, I'm wilding out.
That shit was dope.
Wilding out.
Man, shout out to Shudder, man. What Netflix Shudder? Which one was you on when you watched that?
Dude, I think it was on demand.
On demand, huh?
Yeah, Evil Ed was on Amazon or Shudder.
Amazon. I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Amazon.
That's dope, man.
We should also talk about for all people like us that love horror. There's a great documentary on Shudder right now.
Yeah.
Called Horror Noir, and that's about the history of black people in horror movies.
Yeah, man. How they dictated, like, going from being less of a character to kind of being like subjected to, okay, this is your role to be like the slave cook, just like didn't give us a predominantly role in movies. It's always the spooked out guy and this guy that does just dumb, no real talking roles and nothing like that. Until what it was 1967, I think it was 66, 67. The Night of the Living Dead came out, and it just shocked people for a black guy to have a leading role in a horror movie, to where it set a stamp. Not only was his leading role, but he was controlling shit, like they said on the thing. He took over the house. He was in demand. He wasn't waiting on nobody to help him.
And shit.
He fighting white folks. He slapping motherfuckers. He fighting zombies. It was just like, oh shit, this is really going on. And the director just did a great job of like. And what's crazy, what they said about it, they're like, nah, he wasn't trying to pick a black guy to be the lead. He just came in and was the best motherfucking actor on the set at that time. And the shit was dope, man. Then it got into like more horror movies, and it got into Candyman, which kind of like just sealed.
Yeah.
And it was dope. The Blackula.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kent's back. So now we're talking about the great documentary on Shudder.
Yeah, the one I was telling you about earlier.
Horror Noir. Talking about my favorite horror movie, man.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead.
It's fucking changed the game.
It changed the game, man. It gave you that. It gave you that. Oh shit, it's going down.
Romero was a beast, dude. Romero was a fucking G.
Yeah.
That dude was cold, man.
Yeah, man. He really.
He got some cold ass movies, bro.
Yeah.
He's got some bullshit.
He does, man.
He's got some cold ones.
But he got
George Romero's Dead Time Stories.
It's that bullshit.
Like, how is that like?
Yeah.
That was our DROA list.
Yeah.
So I was talking about. Shall I repeat or no?
Nah, you're good.
Yeah. So, what else did I want to talk about? I think that's pretty
crazy.
good.
Jason is in the background, just going busy right now.
How long have we been talking?
Wish y'all could see all that action going on, and
where we at?
I think we're ready for Shoes of the Week. Am I wrong?
Jason is busy. Nah, we could look. I'm looking at Kevin Bacon in this shit. This fucking movie.
The original Friday the 13th.
The original is going on in the background.
Also, shout out once again to Hannah's 1,000 Films. We are going to review Nightmare on Elm Street for you.
Oh yeah, and we got to do Evil Dead.
Yeah, and Evil Dead from my boy Alex. We haven't forgot, man. We've just been plugging, grinding, doing interviews.
Got a couple people want us to do Insidious and
Insidious is live.
And, man, I think People on the Stairs gonna come up pretty soon too, man. A lot of people been asking about that, which I think was a dope.
There's a movie right now that shout out to my homie Shimmy Texas, baby. My girl Andriana, man.
Her name's Shimmy Texas.
On Instagram.
Name, yeah.
Awesome.
She's a writer and stuff. She's actually writing for a ghost story thing. She's gonna come on our podcast.
Hell yeah.
She's writing for like a ghost blog or something. Yeah, she's a beast, man. I grew up with her.
Man, shout out to everybody that's been coming out and
she's
showing
fine.
love too.
No shit.
Shout out to all the people fucking with us and showing up to our live events and our movie nights and all that.
Dope ass people, man.
But she was trying to put me on the Golem, and I saw like Fangoria posted it, and I tried to check out the Golem. It couldn't keep me off my phone, and I got bored. Everyone said it was really good, but I need to revisit it because it just wasn't Guts for me, you know.
I mean, this is coming from a motherfucker that didn't like The Witch.
You know what I mean? Like, I like to party, bro.
I love The Witch, man.
I know you love The Witch, and that's why we're not fucking movie reviewers. You know what I mean? Like, what I like, hey, not everyone has a criminal record as dynamic as mine.
Some people like The Watermelon Better Purple.
Some people, you know, think that they would rather just pay the ticket instead of someone like me. I'd rather just sit in jail because you get 3 hots in a cot and I don't have to pay that fine.
And you ain't got to worry about that shit.
That's me. That's neither here nor there.
And plus, I just got off 10 years paper.
Yeah.
So sick of that shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, already.
Shout out to Valerie, the old girl that I met, y'all homegirl. Is that her name? Valerie?
Nah, Vanessa.
Yeah, I see you, girl.
Quinessa.
Out there liking my Instagram post. Like,
hey.
Yeah, Vanessa's a beast, man.
Yeah, she's shit, man. She got a bunch of. Shout out to people that's coming on board on our team, man, helping us out. Like I say, we want to give a shout out to Mike for doing that for us today.
Shout out Vanessa. We're on the podcast right now.
Vanessa.
I just shouted you out, Vanessa.
We just shouted you out on this podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Listen to it.
I think it's time at that time, right?
It's almost that time, man. I'm coming with it, and I gotta do a Houston guy. It's a remake of Old Shoe, but he real big right now, pumping it up.
Shoes of the week.
Limit skibby dibby shoes of the week. Limit shoes of the week.
Damn. Oh,
sorry.
What the fuck was that?
Monster.
Damn.
Sorry.
Well,
Just do something.
I know, man.
Sorry.
You gotta edit that. What the fuck was that?
You know what? Back the fuck off, okay? I'm dealing with some shit. It's how I process things.
So we're gonna bring it back.
Damn it.
We're gonna reverse it back.
Fucking kill myself.
We're gonna reverse it back into Jordans as always. But we gotta give a shout out to a guy that's doing it real big in Houston. Local Houston artists that's fucking hot right now, of course. Fucking Travis Scott, man. We got a salute to this guy right
Salute.
quick. Simple fact that
Give me a blue.
man, you from Missouri City, Texas.
Mo City.
But you hooked up with Jordan, man. Like that, to me personally, that got to be like a wow factor in your career. Like, man, I'm doing shoes with Jordan, and everybody know about the Cactus Jacks that comes out, man.
Yeah.
When he paid homage to the Allers colors on the 4s, blew everybody mind. Shout out to my brother-in-law, DB Multifaceted. Go check him out on Instagram, too. He is, if y'all can find a pair, I think he like a 9.5. He's been looking for them. If you can find a pair of these Cactus Jacks, fucking, and he got so many. He had the purple color, the Allers retro. He got some gray ones coming out. He got some coming out. The ones they like suede brown with the backwards check. Just, man, it's so much shit going on with them shoes to where it's like you can't help but sell out with this dude. And I think he did some Air Force Ones with the checks that strap on and off, man. Just some wild collections. And I'm looking at it, he got a lot of collaborations coming on. It's just insane, man, like what he could do with the shoe, man, and elevate the game of the shoe game. And shit, I'm looking on right now, like, what's so crazy? Look at these prices, bro.
I know. They're really ridiculous.
If you didn't get them right now, man, your card note is on fee, man. I see one at StockX is $4.99, GOAT is $4.50. Some used ones. I mean, somebody's feet was actually in these motherfuckers. $300. They got the Jordans that I don't think released yet. The ones I was telling you about, $1,000. $535 in the stadium goods. Just ridiculous prices, but it's like I say, I always support the locals. You know, he's a big superstar right now, but if you get a pair of these, keep them in your collection. I think a lot of people been getting like 2 pair of these, man, just to have one for show, one to sit to the side. But
and the reason I think people fuck with Travis so hard is because, yeah, he's got this mystique, you know, he don't really smile in pictures or show his face and shit like that. But, and I'm not even from Houston, but I love this city so much. I would be proud if he was from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he did it, like, shout out to my homeboy, Don Tolliver, man, because that's first person that Travis signed, bro. And the week before Don got signed with Travis, Don was at Avant Garden with us on Wednesdays, man.
Wild.
He used to come and I watched that boy grind. You know how hard it is to go out to the club 7 days a week for 6 months straight?
And performing?
Yeah.
Shit, I can only imagine.
And not just, or either you performing or you sucking up to some DJ you don't know,
trying
man.
to get
Come
him
on,
to play your
this
shit
for me,
and all that. It's a grind, man.
It's not easy, man. It's humbling.
Man, shout out to like even you, bro. Like you got a show coming up this weekend, right? This Saturday.
Friday.
So, man, if y'all in town, man, Low Key is me. Y'all go check him out at Avant Garden. We did a big interview with him that's coming up. Go to Avant Garden, man, and check it out, man. And we hate to like jump off the shoes of the week, but we just kind of threw that out there, shoes of the week.
Because I will wrap circles around your favorite rapper.
Hey, and he's a poet and he write music and does everything else. So shout out to that, and then shout out to pretty soon we'll probably be moving into our big studio pretty soon. Coming
that
up.
bitch is nasty.
Couple of weeks, man. We're gonna be our Patreons are finna be really excited about what we got in store for them.
A studio last week, man. I'm so humble. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful, man.
Because I know we get to be there next week, which we going regardless. We gonna go to support. Hopefully we could bring the photographer in there to make it look like something extra going on. You know what I'm saying? Just to slide your camera in there and take a couple photo ops with us, man. And we really, really digging this, man. And another thing, shout out to my boy Yako again, my nephew, man. Keep grinding, bro. Just keep grinding. Stay on the music, man.
I want to talk about something.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you have your cues of the week.
Yeah, what you want? You want a little segment?
I want a segment.
Well, I was just about to say that, and I was gonna say it on air in front of everybody and you guys first. That I'm thinking about changing the format of the show around to where Zeno has cues of the week. You have a segment and I have a segment.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted your segment to be something about, since you're so ingrained in horror and you know it so well.
Horror of the week for you.
Yeah.
That nobody else watched but you.
Yeah, like some or the director of the week or some shit like that.
Give it to us, Austin. So what should I do?
What do you want your segment of the week? Let's work it out in front of the crowd.
I was thinking of more like Space Vikings inspirational quotes.
Oh shit! Wow,
we're
getting deep in here, man.
Okay.
He's deep, y'all. Don't give a fuck what you're saying.
So the quote, the Space Vikings quote. Let's try this and see if this works.
If it itches more than 7 days, it ain't going away.
Here's Space Vikings quotes of the week. If you call me and say you're pregnant. Wait. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
Damn.
Maybe not.
You want to do that? I think that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, we could bring. We
you know what? We can go Space Viking Secret Gem of the Week.
Secret Gem, yeah. Ones there's something that you like. You probably watched on your lunch break or whatever, or your break before you gotta.
Like hidden movie that you might not be mainstream.
I like the quote thing.
You know what we forgot and we forgot to throw this out there? The fucking DOA movie. And it's fucking, what is the Poltergeist?
Oh, Poltergeist.
That movie sucked.
Poltergeist
like chicken geist.
What are you talking about?
Bro.
That's not a movie.
Yes, we're going to pull it up for you.
It's fucking wild, which I like because I'm wild.
It started off wild.
I'm a crazy dude. Here's what I don't like. Musicals.
Man.
So you can't be like super silly.
That shit was a musical, man.
But you kept, and like they just showed all these people shitting and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
It was like they kept singing every 5 minutes. I'm like,
it was
dude, like especially because
it was like nonstop singing.
We're creative cats, and we know a lot of creative people. You know, I joke sing all the time. I think that's kind of like a funny thing, but like, it's not about singing. It's just like they kept on singing. I didn't come to a horror movie to watch you, and then we have to kill the turkeys. And I don't know what they were singing about, but it's like these alien chicken eggs that were fucking these weird pulsating eggs, and someone would eat it. Oh, it makes me sick.
Yeah, I know. Why you had to say that?
And
Canes is coming up.
shit out this fucking. Anyways,
Oh,
Poltergeist is DOA.
Yeah, it's definitely DOA.
It's
man.
DOA, but like
It was garbage style. I couldn't believe they put
one movie that I don't hear anyone talking about that I just loved.
Is this your hidden gem of the week?
This will be the hidden gem of the week.
Nice.
The one movie I loved and I don't hear people talking about is Incident in a Ghostland.
Oh.
And I talked about it. I talked about it in one of our earlier episodes about the one with the weird tranny and the like mongoloid thing. It scared the shit out of me, man. I thought it was dope.
Is it old? What year?
It's like this year, last year.
No way.
Yeah.
Where'd you see it?
On demand.
Like on Amazon or
on Xfinity.
Oh yeah, no shit.
Yeah, but you can probably find it on Amazon Prime.
Is it a quality movie or is it one of those weird ones that we?
No,
watch?
it was really good.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. I talked about it in one of our earlier episodes, but
That's dope.
the story is it's that one where this family, this hot French mom and her two daughters are going.
Good start.
Yeah, they're going to like a summer house or a vacation house or some kind of like summer trip where they moved there for the I don't know what they're going on some family time. It's just a single mom and her two kids and on the road. So her two daughters, one is like an emo horror writer and she's got the goth hair and all that, and the other one's like your blonde hair, cheerleader, Sean Gone, like I'm the Gone, So different kids, I guess parents have different kids sometimes. But this creepy ice cream truck, it looked like could have been run by the people at Super Happy Funland, pulls up and like honks at them, and like, and this big thing is in the ice cream truck waving at them. They don't really know what it is, but the blonde girl just looks at them and just flicks them off. Well, then they pull up to the house, skirt. All of a sudden, this truck pulls up in. They just run up in there. It's a crazy looking tranny and a big like mongoloid dude. Like
Oh yeah, that shit was
Goonies
wild.
or some shit.
Yeah.
And they just start fucking attacking them. Like they just run. To see like a dude dressed as like a chick. Like on Insidious where the grandma, or not the evil ghost grandma lady was a man and it was scary. It's like that. Like scaring them and killing the mom. Well, all of a sudden, flash forward, the horror writer is now famous, and she wrote anyways, Incident in the Ghostland. It's dope.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm checking it out this week.
That's a good gem, man. I like
Incident
that.
in
the Ghostland.
I gotta find somebody. I'll come over here and watch. I don't watch scary movies by myself.
Oh, he'll grow up.
We should watch that shit.
I don't do it.
Yeah,
I don't do it.
Incident.
So I guess the segment I'm gonna do is Loki's rant of the week.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah, Incident in the Ghostland. I don't know why it only got 47%. I fucking loved it. I thought it's on iTunes. I thought it was good. Y'all check it out. Let me know if you liked it, you didn't like it.
Well, 47% is actually not bad in today's
Yeah, that's what
movie.
we say. We say that all the time. Like, man,
what would Jason get these days?
13% or some shit.
Friday the 13th get these days?
like 12, 13%. That should be getting low ratings, man.
Let's talk about Loki's rant of the week. Loki's rant of the week. He's talking about some shit that he's pissed off about.
Hey.
Now he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
All right, Loki's rant of the week is going to be on drive and hustle, right? So, when it comes to drive and hustle, I cannot stand a motherfucker that makes excuses. I cannot stand a motherfucker that looks at the next man and hates on him because he's got what you got, right? So what you got to realize is the next man, he's probably been doing it longer than you. He probably works harder than you. He probably it's just his time. It's not your time. He has, even if he hasn't been doing it longer than you or works harder than you. Sometimes more people are more naturally talented than you, but that's that man, and it has nothing to do with you. We live in today's climate where you don't need a massive conglomerate to get your content out. Nice. You don't need $1 million worth of tools to create your thing. You don't need that shit. You don't need a big studio. No, it doesn't matter if it's podcasting, making music, a comedian. It doesn't matter if you're a clothing designer or anything like that. It doesn't matter. If you have a tire shop, it don't fucking matter. A t-shirt shop, it don't fucking matter. At the end of the day, it's on you. That's it. Now you're gonna and there's a couple truths in this world and in this universe that I've found out that work every time. And the one of them is you get out what you put in it. Now, if you're not seeing results and you don't like the way things are going in your life, work fucking harder or do something different. You have to analyze things from an outside perspective, and you have to look at yourself with a clear, realistic eye. Goodness, and you can't do that as long as you're looking backwards at the next man. Don't be a pussy, because that's what that is. That's pussy bitch boy shit or bitch girl shit. The only way to make it in this world is off the sweat of your own fucking brow, and you ain't gonna get it off the next man. So I don't want to hear nothing from nobody, because 5 years ago, I was living under a bridge for a year and a half. And I just cut my grass last week.
Nice.
My grass, motherfucker. I ain't supposed to be here. And I'm definitely not supposed to be here less than you're supposed to be here. So if I could be here and I could be happy and I can wake up every day, there ain't no reason that you can't.
Fucking shit.
Stop bitching, get up off your ass, and make something happen. And share it with me. I'd love to see y'all motherfuckers grow. Share it with us.
Well, I don't know if I want to do some push-ups or go bake a cake or something. I feel fucking cranked after that motivation.
That's what I do.
Man, let's go start a fire.
That being said, thank you to everybody that's been sharing the shit.
Look at those little panties.
Jason. Yeah, that's that non-GMO pussy. So anyway. Thank you for everybody that's been sharing. Thank you for everybody that's been listening. Thank you to all the guests that come on.
Yes.
Thank you to Mike that did the photo shoots today, and everybody that's been showing love and the inspiration.
Yes,
thank you for everybody that's keeping us going. Man, you have no idea. I hope y'all enjoying it. Keep sharing it. We're going to keep putting shit out. We got big things ahead. Wait till we go out of town. Wait till we do more live ones. And I really appreciate y'all. Like I say every time, if you want some of the merch that we got, hit us up. We could get it to you, but you have to hit us up. We don't have an online store, none of that shit. It's just on you. Hey, I like that shirt. Hit us up. We'll get you that shirt.
Yeah.
I promise you. That's all you got to do. And with that being said, it's as low key as me for Guts Podcast and
Zano the Vigi.
It's your boy Space Viking.
We out.
I'm nervous as shit.
What you nervous about, you little nervous Cinderella?
I could save more money by switching to Geico.
Geico is good.
Jeffrey!
Hey, how are you?
Hey, welcome to Guts, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate your time, bro.
Of course.
Yeah, it's super huge to talk to you, man. For all of our listeners at home, we're talking to a very talented individual. And the reason that I have a small anxiety attack every time I get on I-10 freeway and I see 18-wheelers with logs and I it instantly goes there. We're talking to a writer, director, actor, very talented human being, but you guys might know him because he created one of the best movie franchises for guys like us, Final Destination.
Hell yeah.
And the brand new Beast, Final Wish.
Final Wish.
Fucking right.
Thank you so much. I feel a little bad about the anxiety, but it kind of makes me smile at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, that movie,
I love the memes from that movie.
Oh,
man.
It's just great, man. So when that movie came out, I just got to tell you, I'm super nervous to talk to you right now because that movie was so big for me. When that movie came out, I was at the tail end of my teens, and that was, it was just right on time. It's so funny. I think like as a society or whatever however you want to say it, we get scared of. What scares us changes over the years. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the things that scare us, dealing with traffic, in a modern society. I think the Final Destination just played off all those perfectly, and it was such a good movie.
Yeah, great.
Where did you come up with that and that whole concept?
Well, you know what? I've been a horror fan my whole life. So I started watching movies way before I should have, like when I was like 13. So I fell in love with like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
All the good old classics. I just fell in love with all those movies, and I know growing up, part of it was because you weren't supposed to be watching them, so you felt kind of like tough and naughty at the same time.
Naughty.
Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you watching that stuff? You're like, what's going on in that head of yours? But me and my friends, the reason that we watched these films was because we loved the scares, but we also read Fangoria magazine, and we learned what went into making these special effects. So it was a lot more. We saw behind the scenes and how they put these movies together, and that's really when I'm writing horror movies and kind of coming up with ideas or death scenes. I try to come up with something that I haven't necessarily seen before, or at least put a spin on it. For Final Destination in particular, I had the fortune of working at New Line Cinema for 11 years. Back in the heyday when it was Bob Shea, Mike DeLuca, Sarah Risher, just the great amazing team that made all kinds of crazy movies like Blade, when people were like, well, who wants to see a movie about a black vampire slayer? Like, nobody. And then it turned out everybody did. And The Mask, and they were making all these great movies.
Oh yeah, that was a great team.
Yeah, and so they were very much about having a concept that would kind of resonate with people. And so I was actually on a plane, and I read an article about a woman who was on vacation, and her mother told her not to take the flight home because she had a bad feeling about it. So the woman changed flights, and the flight she was going to be on crashed.
Wow.
And so I'm actually on a plane going home to Kentucky, and I read that. I was like, and that put the idea in my head. But sometimes you have an idea, but you're not quite sure how it's going to percolate into a story. And a couple of years later, I was trying to get a TV agent, and they had you write stuff for something that was on television. So I wrote an X-Files spec script to get an agent, and I used that setup as the story for like an X-Files episode. And before I was going to try to get it to the X-Files, but one of my friends at New Line Cinema was just like, this is a great idea for a movie. You should write this as a feature.
What's it? How old were you at this point?
Well, this point I was 27.
Right.
I jumped a lot. Yeah.
When you wrote the spec script for when you had to write the spec script for a television.
Oh, the X-Files. I think that was 94. Yeah, I think that was 94 because I originally moved to New York to be an actor.
Yeah.
And this was back in the early 90s. So I'm just being honest. Like, they didn't know what the hell to do with me because I'm biracial. So they're like, well, you don't rap and you don't play basketball. So we don't know. You're kind of like an ethnic Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
So I think that was their way of saying you're a really white bread brown person and we don't know where to fit you. So
like a small Sinbad.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna write and put myself in everything. And then I kept writing about teenagers, but then I quit being a teenager, and I was like, well, I'll just write.
Turns out that's where the money is anyway. Shit.
Yeah.
I still love acting. I mean, I love all aspects of. I've been very blessed to kind of be on set for most of my films, so I've got to learn about filmmaking from pretty much all sides. And the funny thing is, if you study theater, you're always taught in theater, like, because you're doing Shakespeare, you're taught how important the play is and the written word is. And then when you get to Hollywood, they're like, we consider the script a blueprint, and then the director and actors, and then the producer's girlfriend and somebody's dog walk. Everybody will come in and start giving ideas and changing stuff, and you're like, what? It's like,
yeah.
What happened to?
Then somebody's baby gets picked apart by the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. So, but for this particular, concept, just as a fan, you always hope a film does well, but as a fan to have a franchise that's kind of I still get log truck memes almost every day.
Yeah.
And they never get old. That was another thing happening in Kentucky. We were trying to figure out an opening for the second one. It was going to be a hotel fire, and the producer, Craig Perry, who is just a brilliant producer, he kept pushing me. He's like, that's just not exciting enough. And I was driving home to visit my mom, and I got behind a log truck, and I pulled into the next lane, and then I pulled off the highway, and I called Craig, and I'm like, what about a fucking log truck? He's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then that's how that.
It's one of those things that everyone has thought about. And that's the thing, man. You don't know if it pre-existed seeing that movie or you've always felt that way. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that is so deep in our everyday lives and the way we think. Like, I was thinking about it a while ago. I was like, man, I don't know if that pre-exists me seeing that shit or if I've always thought about that. Like, if I was riding with my mom or my dad when I was a little kid,
Yeah. I think for me, I on that particular ride, I pulled over because the truck looked a little janky. But then I was like, that log could come. And then once I started thinking about it, I was like, oh my God, this is the opening for the second one.
Yeah, that first one blew me away.
Let's just say that I created the whole fear of log trucks. Like, nobody was afraid of log trucks before the second movie.
Yeah,
they get a different look at them now.
And airplanes. No, that we watched the first one today, man, and it's just I'll never forget it. That was the thing to do, back in the when the movie came out. You get all your buddies together, and we were I was about 18 or 19. We all went, let's go see Final Destination. Let's go, and the plane scene. They're taking the school trip, and then it fucking. It's so badass. It blows up.
It's so fucked.
It's awesome. Then it melts. The fire melts the dude's face, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, he was dreaming it, or he imagined. It was a premonition.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, like that was so cool, and it grips you right from there. You know what I mean? I just thought that was so badass, and I was reading about you online. That you first got a relationship with New Line because, like you said, you grew up with horror movies and stuff, and you wrote a prequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And sent it in when you were 14. Is that true?
Yeah, and you got to just realize how, times have changed, and how ridiculous this was. Like I lived out like I'm a freaking hillbilly. Like I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Like I had to call information to get the phone number for New Line to find out what their address was. And I typed up the prequel on onion paper where if you messed up, you had to white it out and go back and typed it up, and I mailed it to them, and they mailed it back because they said we don't take unsolicited material. Like it has to come through an agent, and you don't tell a 14-year-old hillbilly that he can't do something.
Yeah,
so
right.
Well,
I wrote back and I was like, I'm sorry, sir, but I've spent like $3 watching 3 of your movies, so I think you can take 5 minutes and read my story. And he read it, and he got back to me, which is such a blessing because he didn't have to. And I became pen pals with him and his assistant Joy Mann, who became just such a dear friend of mine. And from age 14 till I went to New York at 19, they would send me scripts, and they would read my scripts and send me posters. And it was just, just for somebody who's in the middle of Kentucky who doesn't have any connection to Hollywood or film, to have them responding to me was such a huge inspiration and kept me going, really. So when I moved to New York, I was only supposed to go for the summer to study acting, but when they offered me an internship at New Line, I was like, oh my God, yeah. And then I was like, see you, college. I'm never going back. Which I don't condone. I think education is honestly super important. So, that was just kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to, work at a studio.
That's awesome.
And not have it be part of a college program. So, yeah, that was, and then it's just kind of how life can be really interesting. It's like, New Line did Final Destination. Even though I didn't send the script to the X-Files, James Wong and Glenn Morgan, who worked on the X-Files, they did most of my favorite episodes, actually came on to, direct and co-write the script as well.
That's right.
So, you have to give, I have to give, all props to them because they did such a great job. And, I loved I loved my original draft. We obviously, the studio went out with it, but my original draft was a little more Nightmare on Elm Street influenced, where Death kind of played mind games with people and forced them to kind of kill themselves, which sounds really dark.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, but dark. and Glenn and James came up with the Rube Goldberg angle, and that I think is actually what really. I mean, the concept is obviously great in the characters, but I think that one device, like adding that motive for how Death got people, is what made it so universal. Like, I never showed Death in my draft either. It was just kind of a force, and it was just people would start seeing things like, like there was in the script, I mean, in the movie, there's a brother that stays on the plane and the brother that gets off, and in my script, it was like a sister, and like the good sister who made great grades died in the crash, and her other sister who was always getting in trouble, like stayed off of it, got off the plane. So she started getting like obsessed with the fact that her parents were like, I wish it was my sister, not me, that lived, and she ended up kind of going crazy and killing. And so it was dark, but I think the Rube Goldberg thing made it where people leave the theater looking around for like ways Death to kill you, can kill you. So I give complete props to them for that, because that was like, and it was just nice karma too, because I originally, when Bob, the first director they went to was Clive Barker, and he passed, and then Bob was like, well, what do you think about James Wong and Glenn Morgan? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, those guys are amazing. And we got them. So it's just kind of, it's kind of just a nice lot of serendipity going on.
That is so awesome.
That's awesome, man. One thing I'm learning about one thing I'm noticing is a lot of these pathways and a lot of these careers and like roads to success in some form or fashion, they all start when we were kids and we don't have that filter of something being impossible in our heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like even with my big brother was the same way. He became a professional skateboarder. And the reason that he did is he looked up Powell and Peralta's address in a magazine and made us film him, sent in a tape, and they sent it back. And it was the same thing. Skateboarders had agents back then. He sent it back. And it's just because that was possible then. Nobody had told him that wasn't possible,
Right.
And I know thousands of musicians. It's the same way. It all begins before the world beats us up and tells us we can't do something. When we start stepping our way through life, you know what I'm saying? And because we have the mind, it's a lot about mindset. We have the mindset then that, of course, why not us? If not them, why not us? If them, why not us? And what it does is we start to see a little bit success in that and gain just a little bit of ground. You know what I'm saying? To get some validity in our thinking, and it ends up in years later creating a final destination and having a successful career and just to have any type of success in the film industry is not an easy feat at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it especially comes with people that start late in life because the world is beating them up and they have this strange thing in the back of their heads that say, I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
And
and I always, like when I talk to younger people, because so much of it is a mindset, and the one thing that I hear that really just makes me sad in a way when I go to speak at schools, especially when it's kind of like in the Midwest and the South, like, or in small towns, even anywhere, you'll just hear kids saying, oh, well, we didn't think anybody from here could amount to anything. Yeah. And that's a mindset. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm just making movies. Like, that's cool, but you can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, you can be a fireman, or you can join the military. There's so many things that you can do that, like, make the world actually a better place. And so not that filmmaking doesn't do that. I think arts are so important. But that mindset where, you have kids that think because I'm from a certain area or my family doesn't have money or we don't have connections, like we can't do things in the world. And that's the one thing that I've always learned, especially when I was younger, because I would do stuff and it wasn't from a selfish place, because I didn't think, oh, I'm going to write Bob Shea and this is going to turn into like a relationship where he's going to hire me and then I'm going to work there for 11 years. Like, I didn't have some master plan. I just loved that movie and I thought I had a really good idea. And you're right. I was like, well, I better write this before somebody else does. And I sent it to him, but I always knew from a young age that I wanted to be, an actor or work in movies. And that's just something anybody, an artist, your parents always tell you, well, have a backup plan. Don't do it. Have a backup plan. And I just never had a backup plan.
Yeah, you never had any backup plan. And it seems like that boredom of being out there in the country and being out there where nothing's around, from that boredom stemmed all these ideas, you know, and stemmed that. And for me, what it did, it stemmed a one of, man, I got to get out of this place, you know, and from that stem, you know, the future holds flavors the shelter never know. So, you know, if it's comfortable and it's full of joy and happiness, you don't get lost in your head. You don't have to, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
So who?
And that's why. Oh, God.
Oh no, go ahead, Jeffrey. You got it.
No, I forgot it. It was. I probably thought it was going to be something really deep, but it probably wasn't going to be. That's your question.
That's how I am. Sorry, I'm a blurter, man. I'm gonna get on your nerves all day. I'll be just blurting shit out.
No, not at all.
So who what's your favorite horror movie when you were a kid? You know, who really scared the shit out of you?
I mean, I always feel bad because I wish I had a different answer sometimes. But it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
It's for several reasons. I mean, definitely part of it was when I saw it. It was like a double feature at a drive-in, and Alone in the Dark played first, and then Nightmare on Elm Street came on, and I had never seen a movie like. I mean, the set pieces are amazing. You know, you set up Tina like you think she's a lead, and then they kill her, and you're like, what the hell's going on with this movie? Freddy was terrifying, and the special effects, I mean, they made that movie for like $1 million or less, and it's like, those special effects still hold up today.
It's super weird.
It's insane. And it's funny, but with Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp,
oh yeah,
she was the first final girl in a movie. Like, and I love all the final girls. Like, they're awesome. There's so many awesome ones. But Nancy was the first one who actually got a book on booby traps, set a trap for Freddy, and was like, I'm going to go in this nightmare, pull that fucker out, and I'm going to kill him. Like, she was really proactive about going after the killer. And that's also a testament to Wes Craven's writing as well. But that movie, I think it was. I just love it. I could watch it every day. It's ridiculous. That's awesome. My favorite of all time.
Yeah.
But I also love, like, you know, Night of the Living Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Candyman is another favorite of mine.
Oh yeah.
Suspiria. I saw that when I was a kid, and it just blew me away too. Just how all the music and just everything came together in that movie. I mean, it pretty much. There's some horror movies that I really don't like. When I go back and I'm like, oh, I thought that was really scary, and it's not. But you know, I've pretty much seen. I don't want to say every movie because that would be really arrogant to say that. But I've seen like probably 90% of the horror movies out there. And so there's so many that are really inspiring, like The Thing and Halloween, and
for sure,
you know, so many great filmmakers out there. But just for me, Nightmare on Elm Street, and also reading Stephen King and Clive Barker growing up, like those two writers really impacted me. I used to read like Greek mythology. I was telling a friend this the other day about how we used to read when we were younger, and now it's like I can read a comic book, and I can read articles, but put a book in front of me, I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I need to start reading more, because my mom lived to be 97, and she was so smart up until 97. Like, she didn't have Alzheimer's or never got anything, but she did crossword puzzles every day. And I'm like, I don't do anything to I don't do anything to really activate my brain other than let me tweet, let me look on Facebook. You know, it's like I need to start reading books.
No, I know, I totally get what you're saying. That was like one of our guts rules of a movie. It's like, because nowadays it's like, the movie starts, so we love to, you know, set up like the big screen here at home, and you know, we get all into it. We put like witches flying around the house and stuff, and I always set my phone far away.
Yeah.
Because I know when I reach up and I stand up to go get it, it's like, damn it. So we have like the keep me off my phone factor.
Yes.
Because like I am just all day, you know, with my ADD, HDS, I'm all day just like Instagram, Facebook, you know, it's like I'm trying to get away from this shit, and that's why I'm watching this scary movie.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and it's like that's what we call it, like to keep us off our phone factor. And so yeah, you know, I like Freddie to me was awesome too, man. I that's definitely my favorite too. The and for me, you know, the third one really hit home with me just because, you know, of the kids in the institution, and you know, Nancy comes back.
I know,
and,
that was like,
yeah, and you know, it's like the adults versus the kids, and the adults don't believe us, and you know, and you know, me as you know, I was one of those kind of troubled kids, man. You know, and I've been in several institutions, so I really just related to that, and I love how horror just, you know, I can watch it and I just escape like all the bullshit from the real world, you know.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that, you know, it's funny when people meet a lot of horror writers and directors, they're always like, oh my god, you guys are so nice, and they really are. Like 99% of the horror writers and directors that I know, and actors and actresses, are just really cool people, because most of them are horror fans, and you know, obviously, you know, you're kind of almost fall into a geek category. You know, horror's gotten kind of, I guess, gotten cool now, but still not quite there. You know, Toni Collette didn't get an Oscar for Hereditary, so we still don't get any respect. But I think a lot of the, you know, people that I know, like, they exercise a lot of their demons or the things that they're upset about and angry about. Like, they get that out in their writing. And literally, my friends are like, yeah, I dated a comedy writer, and that guy was crazy. You know, I'm like, yeah, those are the ones you have to watch out for. Yeah. Because they're at home angry, they're not getting any dates, and so they're like writing all these funny stories, but then, you know.
Well, the thing that got me about Friday the 13th, and that really gets me in a horror setting, is when they get you, when a writer or somebody, when a movie gets you where you think you're safe. You know, it's the whole thing about being at home and being comfortable, or being able to sleep, or something to do with your family, or anything. Anytime they get you where you're safe, where you're not expecting it, or where that's supposed to be your relief time, that's supposed to be your comfort zone, that's where it really, really fucks with me. And when it comes to these guys, like, these two guys are horror heads. I'm not really a horror head because the shit scares me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, fuck, how are these dudes watching this shit constantly? Because you've never seen people that watch horror movies like these two motherfuckers. It's fucking amazing. They digest so much horror material. It's constantly, and they're the sweetest kids ever. They're the sweetest guys you ever want to meet.
Right.
They look scary. They're like 7,000 pounds, and you know, they look like you'll eat your head off. But they're sweet as can be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think it's because of that, man. They exercise all the demons through entertainment and through what they digest, and a sweet, caring, loving, good, prosperous person, member of the world, pops out of the other end. It's weird how that happens, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of the formula for horror movies is you know, especially the more formative ones, but it's usually not the popular. Nightmares are probably an exception, you know, but they were paying for this into their parents. But usually in the horror films, it's the one guy or girl who doesn't quite fit in with the other people, and you know, even if the troubles are small, when you're watching the movie, you can kind of connect with that person. I mean, and I actually, you know, one of my friends was like a football player in college, or basketball player, and he was really nice when he was around me, but when he was around other people, he was such a dick. And I asked him one time, I'm like, why are you like that to people? Because you're like the nicest guy I know. And he said, well, ever since I started playing sports in middle school, like, this is what people expect from me. Like, they expect me to act like that. So it sounds like a cop-out, but in his brain, like, he's like, I have to act like a jerk because that's what people expect out of me. But that wasn't really who he was. And so it's you know, you just start realizing, you know, as you grow up, you're like, people feel like we have to put this facade on that everything's great and our lives are great. And even if we're, you know, and a lot of times in horror films, those are the people who end up surviving. It's like the ones who, like, you know, I'm the most popular kid in school and I get all kinds of tail and I'm doing well and I have a nice car. They're the ones that get killed. But it's a person who's got some issues and is trying to work through some stuff that finally has the strength to survive. And that's kind of a subtext that you get in a lot of these films, I think. And that is something that most people, it doesn't matter what your background is or what your gender is or anything. I think you pick up on that.
Most definitely, because I was introduced to Freddy through my sister. My sister introduced me to horror movies. And I had it was funny because she was like, they went to go rent movies and it was the option of 16 candles of Freddy. And me thinking my sister gonna be like, you better get 16 candles because she was the oldest. She's like, no, we gonna watch Freddy. And I was like, I'm watching Freddy and I'm like, in my mind, because I'm so young watching it, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I can't go to sleep tonight. I'm like, there's no way I can go to sleep because Freddy is going to be in my dream. But then I think I ended up going to talk to my sister about it. And she was like, man, the movie is not real. But the fact that you think it's real is letting you know that that's great acting, great plot, great schemes. And I just became, and my thing, I didn't have a lot of toys growing up. So my show and tell was, they was like, what you did? I was like, well, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's awesome.
I was like, I didn't have, and then the kids were so amazed because they was like, oh shit, I can't watch that shit. Sit back and tell us about it. So it went from them showing they fabulous toys, everything nice and shiny, to me talking about Freddy and people listening to it like, oh my God, he watched Freddy this weekend. And the whole class was just like in awe, like, dang, he watched Freddy.
They're like, he's a badass.
Yeah, even the teacher was like, oh my God. And it's not like how it is now where somebody will tweet and text your mom and come get this terrible kid. She kind of looked back like, well, you watched Freddy and and you here now and you're doing okay. You're not losing it. I just came real addicted to it. And then they start having they used to always have the Fright Nights at Astroworld. And when you start going to Fright Nights and you see all your characters, it just draw me more into more. And that was my mom's favorite holiday, was Halloween, which is crazy. Because I was telling them we watched like Halloween together and Witches of Eastwick and all that crazy stuff together. And she loved it. And I'm like, this is awesome, man. I get to go home with my family. Nobody judges horror movies like, oh, you're a weird person for watching this.
Yeah.
And it's came like a tradition, man. And I really dig that.
One thing that gets
so cool.
Go ahead, brother.
I was going to say before I forget, it's like one thing, New Line was very good at like market testing like audiences and stuff. And we knew this back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, but, two things, like in all the major cities, horror audiences were almost split 50-50 female and males, but for some reason people kept making horror movies as if they were only guys going to see them.
Yeah.
And they also found out in all the major cities that audiences, were usually 50% African American and Latino, even though they would always just put one black person in the movie to kill. Thanks, people. You should have seen me on that. You should have seen me on Final Destination. I'm like, all right, we live in New York. It's the most diverse city in the world. So let's just make sure. I even slipped some headshots of some black and Latino brothers and sisters in there. I'm like, yeah, let's just make sure we're diverse. And they shoot it in Canada, and they cast all white people. And I'm like, guys, come on. And they're like, okay, well, here's a detective who's brown, and we got Tony Todd. I'm like, yeah, but one of the kids, So it's just funny how, we like people who know understand that horror films cross all kinds of genres, but women are surprisingly, because if you think about it, you don't have to normally drag a guy to see a horror film. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys, obviously some people don't, the genre bothers them, or and if they don't like horror films, that's fine. But the stereotype is you have to drag the girl to go see it, but you really don't. Like if you make a movie with really strong female characters, then you're golden, because the females are going to want to see it, and their boyfriends are going to be like, yeah, I'll go. So you can hug on me when I'm scared, and she's like, no, you're going to hug on me when you're scared, but that's all right.
One thing I've noticed about since I started this podcast, I've really started to break down what sticks out in a horror movie to me. And I think what really does, and what you capture so well in this new movie especially, is a twist on intent. you know. So basically, I love when somebody means well and trying to do something, or doesn't really mean well, but has a solution to a problem and it all goes wrong. Like The Purge, like The Ring, like these things like this, man. And I think this is what makes this Final Wish such a smacker of a movie, man, is because its twist on intent is they mean well. They're hurting. In some situation, they're grieving. In some they just want some relief from something. And in seeking that relief, they just get a world of shit that they can't get out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really, really grabs you and really shakes you up to your core, man. Is that how long ago did you write this movie? Is this something new that came up? Is this something that you've been working on for a long time?
You know what? I had the treatment written a long time ago. You know, I signed with a new agent who's really awesome. But you know, he's like, give me a list of all the stuff you've written, and you know, between scripts and TV pilots and treatments, I'm like, okay, here's like 45 projects. And he's like, okay, that's a lot. But I'd written this treatment, and I was really busy on a couple of things, so I knew I couldn't write the script by myself. And so I paired up with two friends of mine who are really good writers. Bill Halfin and Jonathan Doyle, and we ended up writing the actual script together. But you know, working at New Line too, it's always that weird thing when you work at a studio because I got an argument with one of my old managers once where, you know, he was like, "You haven't written the new script in 6 months," and I'm like, "Well, because every time I send you an idea, you don't like it, and I'm trying to find an idea that you're excited about." And he goes, "Don't worry about that. Just write something, and I'll sell it." I said, yeah, but I want it to get made. And he's like, well, I have clients that are millionaires, and they've never had a movie made. I'm like, well, I'd rather not be a millionaire and have movies made, you know, because I'm doing this to get them made, not, you know what I'm saying, not just to sit on the shelf.
Why are you in it, you know?
I know. So, you know, this was just an idea, you know, obviously, you know, a little kind of twist on the monkey's paw, but I really wanted it to be more character-driven.
It is.
You know, and more kind of a gothic fairy tale, and you know, so you know, I worked with John and Bill a lot just to make sure that we, you know, focus more on the drama of the story and the relationships that were there. And you know, Aaron is kind of a surrogate for me because I left Kentucky the minute I could and went to New York, and you know, and I felt guilty about it because I left my mom back there, and my sister had to take care of her. And I mean, I would go home and visit, and my mom was really proud of me, but you know, I've always kind of felt guilty about that. So you know, that's something the character's dealing with in this movie. You know, he's kind of left, you know, he left the girl behind that he loved. He left his mom behind. And now he's kind of coming home and he's like left all this wreckage and he's trying to clean it up. And then, you know, he finds this kind of haunted urn and things start going south. So, yeah, so it was, you know, it was originally called The Seventh Wish. The distributor made us call it The Final Wish because I know people are like, he puts final on everything. I'm like, well, I've had many other movies besides the Final Destination ones, but I don't want you thinking that I just do that on purpose. But it actually fits the title. I mean, it fits with the story of the film. But yeah, this was definitely something that was, you know. And then we met Timothy Woodard, who's the director, and you know, he's a really passionate filmmaker, and he's just. I haven't met anybody that kind of thinks like he does as far as filmmaking goes, and he's very much into imagery and themes and. You know, he's very free-flowing in the way that he kind of puts things together. So, you know, he'll come up with some really cool visual stuff that you never thought of for the script that adds stuff or takes it into a weird direction that you never thought of. So there's a lot of, like, cool, like, intentional creepy stuff that was in the script, but then there's a lot of camera angles and shots that he moved around so they weren't in the same order that we've written them. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of serves to kind of unnerve people watching it. It's just I just think it's a really fun, entertaining.
Some of those subconscious things that the audience doesn't realize is happening to them when it does, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I had one question for you that I'm really interested in is I know what a writer's room in a television show looks like. And I know what a collaboration when it comes to writing music or an album or any piece of score or anything like that, soundscapes for films and stuff like that. I know what that looks like. But since a movie script is so dense and so big and such a huge undertaking, what does a co-writing partnership look like? Do you lock yourselves in a room or an office like us musicians or TV writers do, or is it something that he goes to work on, you go to work on, and the other guy goes to work on, and y'all meet in the middle once a week or something like that. What does that relationship really look like, in real life?
It's interesting because I think every writer has a different process, and also every partnership is different. I only really started working with a writing partner when I got to a point where I was like, okay, I've got too much. I have some really good ideas that if I don't get help writing them, they're never going to get made. Because I don't have time to get around to writing them. So that was one thing my agent was like, he's like, I really like these 5 scripts, but you have 5 different co-writers on them. So it's, I don't know, I don't know how to I can't take on all 5 of these other people. Yeah. But for me, a lot of my stuff has started from treatments that I've already written. Like with The Final Wish, I had a pretty detailed story, from opening scene to closing scene written out. So, I knew that John and Bill were really good writers, so I had them kind of take a pass at it, and then I would take a pass, and we'd go back and forth. I have this Bloody Mary script that I'm really pumped about that, I had a writing partner on it, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, but, we would sit down, he liked to sit down and work every day on it, which was a little hard for me because that's a little hard for me to sit with somebody and write with them unless our personalities are completely in sync. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so every process is kind of different. I'm a bigger fan of either splitting up the acts. I'll do act 1 and 3 and you do act 2 and then we'll swap, or here's the outline, I'll take a pass at it, then you take a pass at it, but we'll talk the whole time that it's happening. For me personally, I kind of like that because I tend to get in the zone when I'm writing. I can procrastinate for 2 hours, and then all of a sudden the inspiration will hit me, and then I can write 5 pages in a couple hours. And then some days I can sit around and write 10 pages of crap in it. It depends on, when the inspiration really hits me. So I kind of like to have my own space to do that, to let that happen.
It seems like that you need to be I've heard this analogy one time is, as a writer or a creator of something, it's our job just to be the net when the inspiration comes. Be there and be ready to put it down when it comes. I'm a shower guy. I write everything in the shower or in the tub. Everything. I
tried that, but then it's just I'm going to slip. I got to get out of the tub.
Yeah, you're a mover.
I'm going to slip if I stay in here with the soap.
That's going to get you.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up by that string, man.
I know, absolutely. But I know, because there was a project that I wrote, and I was having so much trouble because I used to write really dense treatments that were 12 pages. And then when you translate it to scripts, it's I would be 45 pages into the script and only 3 pages into my treatment. I'm stuff's got to go. I've got way too much story here. And I just remember I would get stuck on stuff, and then I would just have to go out and, panic for a couple of days trying to make things work. And then I would, I'd just finally go out just for a walk or something, and it would hit me when I wasn't stressing about it. Oh, this is what I can do.
You had to be the net.
So it's a really interesting process, It
really is. And it's fun watching. It's one of my greatest pleasures in doing this podcast is seeing how creative types differ from each one, and how one thing is just seems ludicrous of how to work that way works so well and actually can't work any other way from another person. How creative people are just so diverse, and it's kind of what makes what we consume consumable. If it wasn't that way, I feel like we all bite into the things that we bite into in different ways, and that's what makes them good. And that's half of the creative process, is figuring out the creative process. That's half of getting the job done, is figuring out how to get the job done. It adds so much color and character to the story, to anything that you put out, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially the one thing you learn in film, because in TV it's a lot different. There's a lot of work to get the script signed off on, because it usually, the writer's room has to get everything signed off by the network and the production company, the producers, before they move forward at every step. But once a script is written, it's like set in stone. Whereas in movies, again, it's like you write a script, and one company will pick it up, and they're going to be like, well, we want to take it this direction, and then something will happen where it doesn't move there, and then another company picks it up, and they want to take it another direction. So, if you kind of survive in the business, they're always joking it's called show business. You got to focus on the business, but then the counter of that is also but show is in there too. Like you can't, it's not one without the other, and so you have to kind of learn to navigate the business so that you don't take things personally when people want to change your work. And I've had people change stuff for the better. I've had them change it for the worst. That's why I'm getting into directing now, because I'm tired of people changing my scripts. I have like 3 scripts that I want to tell the stories, and so and I've sat on them. I just haven't given them up, and so that's kind of my next step is directing features. All horror, of course. I'm not going to be leaving that.
Hey, any sneak little gems that you can give our audience about the future?
I can tell you all the future. No, not all of it. I'm gonna be directing a movie called Good Samaritan.
Hell yeah!
That is based off a short that I did, and it's cool. It's about a group of people who see somebody getting attacked in a park, and nobody helps the person, and somebody videotapes them watching it, and the person dies. And the videotape goes online, and so the whole city knows who these witnesses are. Oh. And something starts coming after them, and you're not sure if it's like supernatural or if there's a killer after them until the end. So that's a story that's been really, and I'm really happy with it. Andrew Van Houten, who's done a lot of genre films with Jack Ketchum, is producing it, and we're going to be shooting that in Baton Rouge.
So, are you based in Los Angeles now, or?
Yeah,
okay.
I live in Los Angeles.
We're actually coming out there.
That's where we shot The Final Wish, because Timothy's got his production company out here, so he's really hooked up with the team out here.
We're actually coming out there in October for the...
Yeah, we're coming to Hollywood Horror Nights, man.
Yeah, Universal Studios.
Cool.
Let's link up.
I was going to say, let me know, because I'm sure I should be here. There's one weekend I'm going to a convention in Kentucky, I think the 13th. I can't remember.
Yeah, we're coming out there from, I think, October 29th through November the 2nd, I think.
Okay, yeah, let's definitely, that's not even far from here, so where I live. So, we'll definitely catch up with you.
Yeah!
Yeah. You ever been to Texas Frightmare? They have one, is it coming?
I have not been, so, yes, if they ask me to come down, I'd happily go down there.
Nice.
Texas.
Well, we're gonna have a room down there, man. Yeah, you could always come through and crash, bro. Anytime.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, we shot Dead Awake and this other movie I executive produced, 200 Hours. We shot that in San Antonio. So
hell yeah.
Everybody was so nice and accommodating down there. We really
that's
really
pretty cool.
It.
Yeah, it's good hospitality out here, man.
Yeah, and another movie I got to mention just because I'm excited about it is called Superstition. I wrote this one, and it's a slasher movie, and it's based on that whole superstition that deaths happen in threes.
Oh, cool.
So it's set on this campus where like 2 people die, so somebody starts a Deadpool where you like download the app on your phone. And guess who you think's going to die next, and then somebody starts actually going after everybody. So it's my first slasher. It's my first slasher movie. But what's really cool for me is it's that, like 99% of our cast is African American and Latino.
Hell yeah.
And I tell people, like, look, the movie's not really about race at all, but it's kind of like if you had a really good Scream movie, but instead of focusing on all the pretty white people and their one black friend, like, we just move the camera over to all the pretty brown people hanging out, and we focus on them and their one white friend. So it's a really good slasher movie with a great mystery and a lot of twists, and Ludacris is in it, and we've got some really great people. So we're really excited about that project too.
Cool. When is that coming out?
That one's going to be shooting this year. So hopefully it'll come out. Hopefully it's Meriden shooting this year. So hopefully, 2020 is going to be. I can't believe I'm saying this because I was so old when the first one came out. The 2020 is going to be the 20th anniversary of Final Destination. So
wow,
awesome.
So they're shooting Final Destination 6 this year to come out in 2020, and then I should be having Good Samaritan and Superstition should be coming out in 2020 as well. So So,
hell yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy year.
That's great news, man. I'm super excited for you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
if it weren't for the fans, honestly, being a fan myself, it's like, especially when you're like a writer, it's really the fans that kind of keep you going.
Yeah.
So it's just always nice, and I just appreciate all the people that have stuck by me through thick, and thin, which was probably the Day of the Dead remake, and still stuck with me. So I like the movie, but I know.
I like Day of the Dead, and honestly, bro, I was fucking with Tamara pretty hard too, man.
I love Tamara.
Yeah, that was my. That was my era. You know what I mean? The '90s, 2000s. So I was rocking with it. So yeah, man. We love what you do, man. And
thanks, I appreciate it.
As always, we're always gonna be, gonna post about it, share about it. We loved Final Wish, and just thank you so much for coming on our podcast, man. And it was
my pleasure.
Fucking awesome for me to talk to you. It was huge for me.
Really enjoyed it, man. We've been so.
Well, you all have my number now, so
Definitely.
Now you guys can just stalk me whenever.
Yeah, man. Cause we'd have loved that, man. We always welcome people to our community. We love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there any way we can get you to say, "Hey, this is Jeffrey Reddick, and you're listening to Guts Podcast"?
Of course. Hey, this is Jeffrey Reddick, and you're listening to Guts Podcast.
Hey!